What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, on today's episode, we're looking at NQ in the Nasdaq. Today is the 18th of November, Tuesday. It's a couple minutes to 9 right now. I'm recording this video. So, going over the price action today. Today we had a sell-off, huge sell-off today before we kind of rallied back up, but we ended up still closing pretty much at the lows of the day, at least closing below last week's low. So Tuesday's candle closed below last week's low. Don't know if we're going to get a bounce back here. We already open on this daily candle. Looks like we might get a little bit of retracement before continuing lower. And today, on today's session, I took a few trades, got a few stop outs as well as a few wins, and ended the day in profit, but not by much because I took some losses initially. I lost about 1% and little, and then I made it back and made about 0.5%. That's where the account is sitting at right now. Still in drawdown, but I'll eventually claw myself back out. So that's what's happening. But going over the price action today, so we closed below this weekly opening gap from a couple of weeks ago. We traded up, then closed down below this previous weekly low, and we also closed below yesterday's low. Also, we ran this low from this would have been Friday the 17th of October. This low, this daily candle. I think this was one of the low after we had this big drop off from the Trump tweet. So by the looks of it, we might run this low. They came pretty close to it. I don't think they would induce it this close and ending up not running that low. So I'm expecting this low to get eventually taken out. So what I'm expecting is for probably tomorrow we come down, run this low before getting some type of retracement. Or if I look back, I could be wrong, but the next target would be these lows down here. And also, let me see what we look like on the weekly. So the last proper low would be all the way down here. But I don't think we get such a big correction just yet. The monthly candle is pretty much very, very bearish. We could close down here and then next month we get the Santa Claus rally still, depending on what Nvidia earnings does tomorrow and the data that's going to be released after government shutdown really comes to an end. So what I'm seeing here is that this candle could flip and come pretty much lower. So we are already almost engulfed the body, pretty much engulfed the body of last month. Failed to take the highs and then we're just coming down. So currently we're in a sell market on the weekly as well as on the daily time frame. So we didn't respect this up close candle, which would have been the closest order block, and we traded through this one. So it's up to this gap now to see if we can maintain this low or we can come lower, but we could get a retracement. This kind of looks like a market maker sell model after we had all of this. So we could come back up to form a next high and then trade lower. So let us see what happens there. So on on today on today's price action going into the lower time frame on the 4 hour, we had a bit of a up and down movement here. If you look at this part, I'm going to switch to the MT5 chart that has the annotations already. So this is what we're looking like. So the monthly candle on this platform is showing that it's already engulfed, but you know the broker feed is a bit different on these platforms. So it's showing that we ran the highs as well as we took out the lows already. I don't think this is too accurate, but the weekly is a little bit better because it's showing that we already down below today's last week's low. I mean, I took a buy down here. I took 2 entries all the way at the actually at the lower the day, and they ended up playing out higher, and I left a small runner on here. That's what's left, 0.05 position. So I don't know if we can get some more downside or if we're going to retrace back to the upside. And let me look at S&P, see if we any better. So on S&P, we already ran the low here, and we kind of retracing a bit better. It's not so close to its previous monthly low, as well as US 30. Let me refresh this and see what it looks like. Yeah, its monthly low is all the way down here, so it's actually the lagging pair. If we're going to roll over, it looks like it could retrace to give um the right hand leg of the downside. So that's what I'm seeing on these three indices. So on the 4 hour time frame, this is what the 4 hour time frame looks like. On the current daily profile, we have 2 days so far, 2 days going out, 2 days going out of this week. So if anything, Monday would have already farmed the lower the day. I have my TP all the way back up here. Don't know if we make it back up here, to be honest, but let us see what we get. Let us see what we get. Here, going down to the 1 hour time frame, giving you a bit more detailed perspective. So we opened we opened right here last night, traded up, came down, came back up, came down again. So right after London session open, and we traded below the midnight opening, which is this red line right here. We came back up to this is now equilibrium for this structure leg. So this is 50%. We traded back up to here, and this would have been a up close candle forming an order block, maintaining this downtrend. We failed to close above, and that's what sent us lower today. So we came all the way down, sold off during the NY session, and rallied back early later in the PM. So this is what we look like on the 1 hour time frame, and then now the 15 minutes looks like this. So on the 15 minutes, let me refresh and see if I can get alright. So a little bit more detail. So we're getting a nice little bounce here now. This order block this demand level maintaining the price action. So what I'm seeing here is that the low of the day is actually, let me see, so it's from here to here. The low of the day is all the way down here, and it looks like we're holding. So we took an internal low, this low right here. So we took out the close. So the close traded below the closing price, and then now we're trying to head back up. Let us see if this candle will close up here. It's only 6 minutes out of this hourly candle, so we could easily close back down here. But I'm seeing all of these lows. So none of the indices actually form a SMT by running their key level. So I'm expecting that price could trade down lower still. But let us see. I don't normally try to predict, I just try to react from the price action that I'm seeing. So let me go over now to trading view and see what we get. So this is the futures, and this is NQ futures. The data on this is delayed, so I don't normally look at this because see this sold off, but it's actually rallied up already. I'm not using live data, so this is why it's showing me like this. But let's go over the price action over here. I've been trading from my phone, so I wasn't able to get the kind of sniper entries that I'm used to getting from these moves during London. So we traded all the way down here, doing Asia, and we didn't make it back up to Asia. So if you got into a sell from all the way up here, you could have held that trade for the entirety of the day. So we traded down, ran this low here, and I thought we would have flipped back bullish. I don't know why I keep thinking that we're going flip back bullish, but because I know these indices, I understand how they move. So I know they go down when they want, but most of the time, long term trend is up, and I don't want to get caught um, short selling, even though I'm just day trading. So during London, we traded back up. This macro here gave us a nice buy opportunity, and I think I'm going to mark it with the tool. I just going to use this giant thing. So we ran this low slightly and gave a nice little entry, traded back down into this down close candle during the macro, and this could have been an entry anywhere here. Went up, used this range as well as a order block, and we got this rally up. This is another entry here during this macro, right into the London silver bullet. This macro also consolidated a bit, and we used this breaker to send us even higher. So we traded all the way up, then we kind of just moved sideways. The momentum kind of died out for the upside, and we just moved sideways through the later part of London session. And by the time we get to pre-New York into New York, we started breaking down. So we sold off starting here, came down, breaking structure, break structure again, traded back up, use this fair value gap inside this macro as well as this order block. Nice sell opportunity here, traded back up sideways, and we sold again before retracing. This is around 8 a.m. A bit of a sideways movement during this would have been 9 o'clock. This macro would have been 8:50 to 9:10. This macro right here. Let me see if I can draw a straight line. So this would have been 8:50 to 9:10 macro. We traded sideways. Then as soon as NYSE opened, We made a nice rally up here using this level as a order block before we just cascaded lower. I wasn't able to capitalize on that short move. I didn't take it. I think I took a buy. I think I took a buy somewhere inside here, and it actually went into profit, but I wasn't managing too keenly, and it came back to stop me out, and I entered back some buys again. So I kept entering buys. I got stopped out. Like I say, I'm on my phone, so I'm not able to see the price action so clean. So I was just using some small size, but the losses kind of add up. So we traded down, ran these lows before we get a nice rally up, and this is where I got a nice entry. So I got a nice entry down here because I had some buys inside these levels that got stopped out in several buys, but I didn't want to hold them. So the stops were pretty tight. Most of the times they go into profit, but if you're not getting the most precise entries, then they're not going to hold. So this would have been a nice silver bullet entry here to catch this short. But if you're not on a computer, you're not skillful using the phone, then you're not going to catch this. Especially that I'm at work and I have to be focusing on multiple things at a time. So I just cut the size and still try to catch these moves. So now right around the 10:50 to 11:10, this 4 hour candle that started here at 10 o'clock. So the first hour had elapsed and the second hour had started. So the second hour would have been the 11 a.m. candle. After we ran these lows, I decided, you know what, let me take a chance here, and I took a buy here in some of one of these candles here, and I held that trade for majority of the day. This is the wrong tool. Took a buy here, and I held that trade for the entirety of the day. I had my stops below here, very tight, because I wait until the lows run. I had the stops down there, and we just rallied for the most part, all the way up traded sideways. I think when we came down here and flipped, I entered here. If I was on the chart, I would have gotten a better entry here, but this was a nice 15-minute candle that went all the way back up. This trade here would have given me a nice a nice entry down here, a nice sniper entry to a nice sniper entry to bring the account back up into a bit more profit. But I wasn't able to capitalize how I would like on this trade because by the time I saw it, the candle was all the way up here. So I entered somewhere up here and I didn't use a big size because like I said, I'm not seeing how big the stop is based on the size that I'm entering. And by the time you drag the stop down here, it's very huge. And I don't plan on blowing the account. So that's what I did. So we traded all the way back up before we sold off back in the PM session. So we came back up here, moved sideways, and when I checked the phone, by the time work ended, we had been back down here. But my stops were break even all the way down here. So I don't know if we coming back down here, like I said, but see we trying to trade back up, and this down close candle inside this range, which is like a demand level, is what's holding price at the moment. This is what's holding price at the moment. So let us see if this can maintain to send us back higher. So we have all this liquidity resting up here. We could trade back into this time frame of liquidity up here from the PM session as well as from the London session, and then further on, the higher the day, well, not even the higher the day, but the Asian session. So yes, this is the higher this day. So this would be the high of today's price action. So that's the target. If we do make it back up there, we have Nvidia earnings tomorrow after market. So let us see what kind of action we get. Let me go to MT5 and show you the actual entry. So this is where we're currently at. I'd not too long got home from work, else I could have probably gotten an entry down here for a nice little scalp. So this hourly candle now 16 minutes in and we rallied up. So let us see what kind of action we get. So see the entry all the way down here. Perfect sniper entry. Little to pretty much zero drawdown. So let us see if we get a rally, a continuation to the upside. So that is what I'm currently seeing on this pair. Anyways, that is pretty much it for today's video. Not much else to go over. So let us see what we get in tomorrow's price action. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.